all praises, all praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator of infinity, eternity, the universe, and all there is. Hello, family. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. Welcome. We are back together again, converging and convening. And today we will be we're continuing our discussion on the quest for reparations, the reparations revolution for the American descendants of slaves or the enslaved and family. Today I just came across an article entitled the U.S. House of Representatives unanimously passes $67 million gay reparations tax bill. And so, family, we have this article which we will be reviewing today in our continuing mission to gain the reparations for those afflicted with 250 years of institutionalized bondage, as well as 150 years of continuing American terrorism as sanctioned by the U.S. government and the states. And so the argument for reparations for ADOS has many opponents or many tenets of the argument in terms of, well, it happened so long ago and my people didn't own slaves and my people weren't in the country. And so there are all these talking points to delay, to oppose the retribution or the restitution of this spiritual sin cast upon a people by a whole nation. And we see where other political groups are able to lobby and able to get their political points and their political aspirations in front of the legislative bodies for votes and reasoning, whereas the ADOS is continually being denied. They're giving us the reason that the system of reparations or the payments of reparations must be studied. They have to find out who are all the due parties, and these are just areas where they are trying to discourage and dissuade the argument. But we see it is actually an agenda. It is actually a conspiracy of the powers that be that will not even offer a redress or a consideration. So we shall see how the legislative bodies of America are actually interacting and dealing with the other political groups within the society. And so we shall begin with this House unanimously passes $67 million gay reparations tax bill. On Wednesday, the Democrat-controlled U.S. House of Representatives unanimously passed a controversial gay reparations bill that will entitle same-sex couples to millions of dollars in tax refunds for their marriage, which were not previously recognized under federal tax law. The PRIDE, or Promoting Respect for Individuals' Dignity and Equality Act, removes sex-specific terms such as husband and wife from the federal tax code and allows couples married while the Defense of Marriage Act, which protected states and federal government from having to recognize same-sex marriages from states that chose to recognize, to claim tax refunds for which they were ineligible. The U.S. Supreme Court struck down DOMA in 2013. The Washington Blade reported that the Joint Committee on Taxation put an estimated amount the feds could have had to pay out if the bill becomes law at $67 million. The Pride Act passed the House on Wednesday by voice vote, meaning lawmakers were not required to put a vote on the record. Notably, no Republican resisted. The Hill noted that New York GOP Representative Tom Reed expressed a technical concern about the legislation, but supported its core purpose to make sure our tax code is reflective of the law of the land as it has been declared by the Supreme Court. In passing the Pride Act, Democrats are honoring our diversity and providing long overdue justice to countless same-sex couples across the country who have been denied critical tax refunds because of who they are and who they love, Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi proudly declared, according to CNN, calling for the Senate to quickly pass and reaffirm both the bill and its incredibly controversial message. As we've previously reported, presidential candidate Senator Elizabeth Warren recently came out in support of this type of policy, later introducing a similar bill in the Senate, the Refund Equality Act. The federal government forced legally married same-sex couples in Massachusetts to file as individuals and pay more in taxes for almost a decade, Warren said of her bill at the time. We need to call out that discrimination and make it right. Congress should pass the Refund Equality Act immediately. It is not clear whether Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will allow the bill to be put to a vote, or whether President Donald Trump, who is something of a centrist on LGBT issues, will sign or veto the vote. Needless to say, this joke of a bill is not without its opponents, even within the LGBT community itself. In a June editorial for the Washington Times, Tammy Bruce, a Fox contributor and gay conservative, wrote that the gay reparations bills are purely an exercise in power by pandering LGBT mafia-controlled left, or pandering by the LGBT mafia-controlled left. What Mrs. Warren doesn't mention to people is the IRS already allows everyone to amend the last 3 years of returns, Bruce wrote. Instead, she wants couples to be able to amend their tax returns for the entire time they were married in one of the 10 states allowing gay marriage prior to the federal recognition. But why stop there? What about all the gays and lesbians who never had a chance to marry at all because of the Clinton administration's Defense of Marriage Act? That has to be asked, because this has nothing to do with tax fairness and everything to do with reinforcing the politics of resentment and victimhood, she argued. For the Democratic Party machine, however, there can be no success. There always has to be a new appended wrong or violation, some new campaign to convince you that victimhood will never end and you must always resent, well, everyone. All right, family. So that was just a framework of an article which has let us know that the House of Representatives has given a voice vote, a non-recorded vote, to give tax refund relief to same-sex LGBT gay sodomite couples. And so these refunds could total into the millions and offer a financial relief for a so-called wrong applied to an affected population. Well, family, we see how easy it is for everyone else outside of the American descendants of slaves to receive tax, political, and financial restitution for the so-called wrongs imposed upon them. So now, family, in reading this article and in evaluating all of the obstacles put before ADOS, this is really an affront. It is an offense. It is a direct assault to the political sensibility and movement of a people that were most affected on these American shores. And so now it is time to reinforce the efforts. It is time to become virulently vocal. It is time for us to become revolutionary. This particular insult to the conscience of the American descendants of slaves, this is something to riot about. This is something to bring the national economy and the American society to an instant halt. It is time to throw a wrench into the mechanism of American politics because they think this is not a serious quest. So family, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Please contribute to the commentary. Please get on your mediums and let us now make a blast of these hypocritical political representatives. Let us now put the fire and the heat under the so-called black congressional Congress members. They are not hearing us. They are not doing the job for which we represented them. The game has now changed. It is time to move into a new arena. America, you are on notice. Family, we shall continue with the reparations revolutions. Lord willing, we shall return and continue to lobby with our voices of righteousness for the restitution and retribution, for the healing and the repair of the affected nation of ADOS. Until we are together again, I love you. I love you. I love you. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit.